Hello everyone, welcome to my Esan class number 6. My name is Philomena Orbisi. Today we are going to be looking at some of the greetings in Esan land. Before we start, I want to quickly clear this. In Esan land, greetings varies from one community to another, from one part of Esan to another. So depending on the part of Esan you are, you might find different way of greeting. If you are living Ekpoma to Ubiaja, you will discover that the way they say their greetings, for instance, Doeje in Ekpoma may be different from the way they say Doeje in Ubiaja, or they are saying it differently at Gwebe. So it's so different. There's big difference between the way we greet in Esan land. It's not like the English where everybody say good morning in the morning, good afternoon in the afternoon, or evening in the evenings. But there is difference in our way of greeting. Also, the men and the women greet different ways in Esan land. The men have their way of greeting, the women have their way of greeting in Esan land. So we're going to look at it, and it's really going to be brief because there are so many that I don't even know, I've not had before. So if your way of greeting is not here, you might have to ask somebody, where I'm from Ekpoma, how do we greet in the morning? Where I'm from Ewu, how do we greet in the morning? But I'm just going to spell out, say the most common one that I know. So come with me as we go. First, you will notice here, the first part I have for the men: morning, afternoons, and evenings, and the way the men greets. This is how the men greet in the morning, greet in the afternoon, and this is how they greet in the evening. We are going to deal with the men part first. When I'm talking about men, we're talking about the male now, all male, the way the male greets, the way the younger ones greet the elders, the senior one. Usually in Esan land, the younger ones greet the senior ones first. It's a sign of respect. You don't pass by your elder without greeting. It's disrespect. And when you greet your elder, if it's the man, it's a male greeting an elder, or a man greeting an elderly man who is senior to him. You take a bow. You bow a little bit to say either I san, or depending on the hour or the day, you take a bow as a sign of respect to greet your elder. If it's a female, a woman greeting the elder, you squat. You squat a little bit to greet your senior woman. And the response from both men and the women, the elderly men and the elderly women, the response to the greetings are similar, just the same. Most time it's prayer for the younger one that had just greeted them. So we're going to look at it one by one. Let's start here. Now let's look at how the men greet in the morning. In Esan land, in the morning, the men greet with Aesan. Aesan. That is the morning greeting. Aesan. And to put respect, because they are greeting their senior or their elder, they say Aesan or Wanle. That is Aesan or Wanle, because it's an elder. Aesan or Wanle, like saying, good morning, my senior, something like that. Aesan or Wanle. So, and the elderly man or elderly woman, this Aesan can go for both man and woman. You can either say Aesan Wanle or Aesan Nene. That means Nene is referring to a woman there now, as a senior woman. Aesan or Wanle for men, Aesan Nene for women. So you can say Aesan to male elder, Aesan to female elder. So it's used for both men and women. Aesan. Aesan or Wanle for men, for male. Aesan Nene for female. Or you can say Aesan Odedeme, depending on who you are talking to. But the basic thing is morning greeting for men in the morning. For Esan people is Aesan. Aesan. We get that? And the response from the other side, from either the man or the woman, response from the man or the woman you are greeting is probably going to be wele, wele, and that wele can be said in different ways too. Some people can say uma we, uma we. Some other people will say well, not say. So it's just like saying, did you sleep well? Did you sleep well? Did you sleep? Because it's morning, you just woke up and you are just saying do a J, or Isan in the case of men now, right? So it's gonna say wele, uma where is the same thing. Wele, that's just, did you sleep? Oh, then you want to really say, make it like personal. Uma where, the same thing. Still say, did you sleep? Okay. So we say, where Tommy. When you greet an elder, I sang in the morning, some of them will prefer to pray for you and say, where Tommy. They may go further to say, where Tommy or more, because you have just respected them by greeting them and they pray back for you. Where Tommy. The word Tommy will be me. That where Tommy, my child, you will live long, my child. Where Tommy will be me, you will live long, my pikin. You know, that kind of thing. So, but it also has plural and singular. If two or three men come to an elder, no, if 2 or 3 men come to an elder and say, I son or wine, this time is one elderly man. Because there are more than 2 people greeting him, is going to say, Vawele. Vawele, that is plural. Because it's talking to more than 2 people now, more than 1 person. Vawele or Vamawe. That's how the elder is going to respond. And also, if one man come to meet many men or many women sitting down, I want to greet them. This is a man coming across many men and women sitting down and you want to greet them all together. It's going to say, Vaesan, a wine, Vaesan. Vaesan, that means Dava is the plural there, making it clear that it's talking to all of them, not one person. Vaesan. Okay? And then Vaesan is greeting a group of men or a group of women. Vaesan. Vaesan. Okay, but let's stay here so we don't get it so complicated. Just bear in mind that in the morning in Esan land, the men greet with Isan, and the response will be Wele or Uma we. Okay, now let's go to the afternoon. In the afternoon, the men greet with Hara. Hara. And don't forget that sign of respect always go along with all the greetings that you might have to greet throughout the day. You're coming across an elderly man or a man who is older than you, it is disrespect to just say Hara and pass by. You're going to say Hara with respect by putting Hara wine or Hara nene or Hara odedeme. You say Hara in the afternoon. Hara. And that Hara is used to greet both men and women in the afternoon. Hara. Ne. Greet with Hara, Hara, Hara wine, Hara nene, Hara will. The Uromi are very good in that. Hara will. So when you meet somebody in the afternoon, now the greetings have changed from Isan to Hara in Esan land. How do they respond? They could simply say do or domo, do, or they can put domo to there. Wahaimemi. You greet an elder in the afternoon, is going to pray for you because you are respecting him. When you say Hara Wanle, the Wanle, which is an elderly man, is going to say Wahaimemi. Wahai river, you will live. Wahai River, or you Wahai Memi, Egbefuere, all those kind of greetings, they will respond back with greeting. Or they simply say Domo. Okay. In the evenings, the same hara we use in the afternoon, the same hara the men use in the afternoon, they use in the evening. Hara is used from afternoon till bedtime. Hara is used when people finish eating in the house. Usually in Esan Land, when the family gather together to eat, after eating, the children greet their mom, their dad with hara. Hara. That is before bed. But even before we get here, from afternoon, when you started saying hara from afternoon, from then till evening, the greetings continue with hara with the men. So, but after eating, you greet hara at the same time, the response is a little different. The elder or the seniors that you are greeting is going to say alemegbe, because you just finished eating and you say hara, and it's going to say alemegbe, and that's another way of praying for you. You eat and you will be okay, something like that. And then wegbole, that was very common in my old house. Wegbole, that you have just eaten and you come to our father and say hara baba, hara wale. The baba will say wegbole, and we the children will be laughing ade amiele. So you will eat again, and then we put it to joke. If we see, we will eat again. So the response to hara after eating mostly is alemegbe, you will eat and be okay. Wegbole, you will eat again. Egbefuere, peace be with you, after eating in the evening, and then you go to bed. So we have seen 3 types of greeting, of which 2 are basically the same for men. The Esan in the morning, the hara in the afternoon, the same hara that is used in the evening and after eating in the evening. That seems very easy, right? So if you are an elder or senior who is learning how to speak Esan, when your son come back from school, or well, let's start from beginning, going to school. When your son wakes up and is going to school and tells you hara, let me tell you Esan baba, because it's your son. It's not just going to be saying or whining to you. It's outside people, friends and community that may say or whining, but your old child is going to greet you with Esan ba, Esan baba. So you're going to say wele. So if you are a friend of Esan and you like to speak Esan with us, when some tell you Esan baba or Esan ba, you simply say wele or wetomi, wahai river. You will live long. Prayers, as we all know, elders like to pray for the younger ones, right? That's what I just showed there. Then we talk about the plural. It has plural. When people are many, you are greeting many people. You're not just going to say Esan. You say Vaesan wale, Vaesan. Va makes it plural. And if Owale is responding to many people, Owale is going to say Vawele. That va takes the place of plural, making you know that it's many people you are talking to. Then in the afternoon, we say hara. And the elders, we say, Wakai memi. You will be good. You will be fine. Egbedi fuere. Waitomi. Wakai river. All prayer. Or they simply say, do omo. Do. I need to put omo here. Do omo. That's like a bless you, my Peking. Something like that. Now in the evening, Ben also continue with that hara. So just remember, morning is Esan, afternoon and evening, and after eating evening meal is all hara. Hara for men. The younger ones greets the elders first in Esan Land, right? So now let's go down to the women. This is where it becomes so complicated I almost gave it up. The women have so many way of greetings, so different depending on the part of Esan you are. I decided to list some of them here that I read about. I've heard about some of them because of where I went to school and stuff like that. There are so many I could not even put here. So in this case, I'm just going to say the one that is very common and the one I speak in my place. In the morning, women or female greet with doeje, doeje. And that doeje also is even different the way we pronounce it depending on what part of Esan you are. Some people say doeje. In my place, we say doeje, doeje. In some other people say doaje. See the difference? Doeje, doaje, right? And then in some other places, they just say DJ, DJ. I can remember Uromi with that. Uromi say DJ, DJ Oyo, DJ Abba, DJ Oyaba. So, see? And then you see that in some other part of Esan, you have Lamogun, you have Lamoje, Lajesan, Latose, Lani, Labo, Lagbede, Laho, Lasso, La Loco. Etc. So many. I've seen some of them, I've had some of them. I remember when I was at Igwebe, when I had something like one of these, I'm like, I said good morning, and that was the response. I was like, what is that? But when I, settle down, I get to understand the different way they speak there. So today we are sticking with do-e-je, do-e-je. So in the morning, the girls, the women, the female greet the elders with doeje. And that doeje, like I said today, with a sign of respect, we squat. Doeje, doeje nene, doeje abba, doeje baba. You have to, it's a sign of respect. You can't walk by an elder and just say, doeje. You are not trained, you have no Google training, right? So the elder is probably going to call you back and say, Vai, come here. You don't know how to greet, it will train you right on the spot. That's why you hear that it's popularly said that in this land, community bring up a child together. It's not only your father that brings you up. Community gather, train a child together. It's going to call you and say, greet me again. You don't know how to greet. So when a woman or a girl meets a senior woman or elder, you say doeje nene. Even if you don't want to put nene, you have to squat and say doeje, doeje. But if you are greeting or whining a man, you must put that respect there. Man, you have to say doeje or whining, doeje or whining, doeje or whining as a sign of respect. And it's going to say uwele. Sometimes they say uwele or more. They too respect you back. Uwele or more or uma we. And the plural also come in too. They can, if there are many girls now greeting many women, the girls okay, wadoeje nene. So they will say wawele, wama we. So the response is always usually wawele or wama we. So if you are from other part of Esan that does not say doeje, DJ or doaje, you probably belong to these ones. You hear them say lamogun, lawoje, lajesan. So you probably need to ask around your family, so how do we really greet in my old part? If you want to, pick one of those that belongs to your old side. Then in the afternoon, the women continue with the doeje, just like the men continue morning and continue afternoon and evening. The women continue morning and afternoon. The women greet the same way morning and afternoon. Remember, the men greet the same way afternoon and evening, but the women does theirs same morning and afternoon. In the afternoon, you still meet a woman, you're going to say do a j or do a j. So in the evening, it will change. So the response in the afternoon is also just like the men does, do or mo, or wakai river, you will leave. Egbe fuere, egbe dying. That egbe dying comes in form of question like egbe dying. Are you well? As you say yes, and they pray for you as usual. Then in the evenings, the women greet with Ijesan. Ijesan. They greet Ijesan in the evening till evening meals. And after eating evening meals, they greet with the same Ijesan. In the community or in the house, the children finish eating, they're going to greet their father, their mother, Ijesan. So you start saying Ijesan in the evening till meal time. And after meal, you finish eating, you continue with the Ijesan before you go to bed. How do they respond? Ale megbe, just like the men. Ale megbe. Wegbole. Ugbole. Wegbole. Then they may respond wele bale. This is very common. When you say I just they say wele bale. They ask you back in a question, have you eaten? It's evening now after meal. When they say I just nene, I just ba, you say wele bale. You want to be sure that you have eaten. Wele bale, have you eaten? Are you sure you have eaten? Wema le bale, did you really eat? So that is that. They want to make sure you ate your dinner. So after dinner, you also greet with Ijesan. Ijesan is for evening till after dinner. And the mother, the father, they respond back, Wegbole, Egbe fuere, Ale megbe, and all that kind of thing were laid by. And the plural also come to play. If two children, after eating, run to their mother to say Ijesan nene, the mother will say, "Wa lebai, wa ma lebai." So I hope you did not just put the food aside. Did you eat your food? So that's how we greet the daily greets in Esan. These are just the basic daily greet, like morning, afternoon, and evening. We have so many other way of greetings, which we are going to look into after this. So let's go back a little bit and just go through it again. In the morning, main greeting is Aisa. In the morning in Esan land, the men greet with Aisa. And the response most of the time is Uwele or Wema we or Wetomi. Okay? In the afternoon, the men greet with Hara. Hara. Hara wanle, Hara nene, Hara. And the response usually Wakai river, Wakai memi, or Do Omo. Do Omo is really very common in the afternoon. When you greet a man, passing by a man in the afternoon and you say Hara wanle, you're probably just gonna say Do Omo, Do, and pass by. Okay, unless you are very close or it's a family that is close anyway, you know, may talk more. Evenings, you say Hara. The same Hara that they use in the afternoon is what the men use in the evening. And Hara says also after eating evening meal by the men. So when after eating evening meal by the men and they say Hara to their elder, the elders are likely to respond Ale megbe. You eat and it will be good, well with you. Or Wegbole, you will eat again. Or Egbe fuere, or peace be with you. So the women part in the morning they say do eje aba, do eje nene, Do Eje Owanle. So the greeting for women in the morning is Do Eje. Do Eje could be different in pronunciation. It could be Do Eje, it could be Do Aje, it could be DJ, depending on who is speaking it. And bear in mind, there are so many other ways that other part of Esan say good morning in the morning. Like I just mentioned, you have Lamogun, you have Lawoje, you have Lajesan, Latose, Lani, Labo, Lagbede, Laho, Laso, Lako, La Loco, and so many I can't squeeze here. So Esan is a mini Nigeria, very big and very different in greetings. And the response will be Uwele, or in plural form, Umawe. So basically, in the morning we say Do Eje, Do Eje Owanle, Do Eje Aba, Do Eje Obio. Okay? Then in the afternoon, Do Eje continue for women. The women use Do Eje both in the morning and in the afternoon. Then the response almost the same. Do Wakairiwo, Egbe Fuere, Egbe Dae. So that's for morning and afternoon. In the evening, the music changed a little bit. The women say Ijesan, Ijesan. All these things have history attached to them, but I'm not going into all those history. I just want to talk about how we do the greeting. Ijesan in the morning for women. Then that Ijesan, in the evening for women, Ijesan. That Ijesan is used until after meal. And after meal, you greet with the same Ijesan. And then the response may be Wele by, Wema le by, or Wegbo le, Ale megbe, just like the man says. You notice that the response for men, for the elderly men and women are almost the same. They are always praying for the younger one. So this is the way we greet morning, afternoon, and evening in Esan land. Let's practice it. Next time we'll come back. We're going to be doing the other parts of greetings. Thank you for joining me. Have a blessed day.